talking about legalized marijuana. A lot of people are for it, a lot of people are against it. It's a hot topic right now. It's not going to be solved overnight. It deserves due deliberation. I myself have done research as to find out where I need to stand on this subject. Such sources as the book The Benefits of Marijuana have shed many insights as to why it should be legalized. There's other various sources such as the National Institute of Health. There's a Harvard Law study by Mark Dichter, and various other sources that are all concerned with clarifying this subject. Today, I will share what I've learned after my research, and there are 3 points that I want to talk about. The first one is the policy that criminalizes marijuana is in its very essence unconstitutional. The second point is the health benefits associated with marijuana far outweigh any risks associated with marijuana. And the third one is that it's not only a financial drain on the American economy, but it's inefficient. And I'll prove that here today. Okay, first, it's mandatory to analyze whether a law is actually lawful. There's a quote by Zachariah Caffey, and it states that an unknown judge said, "Your right to swing your fists ends where another man's nose begins." And what that implies is that you're free to do whatever you want with your body, as long as your right to do with what you want does not connect and infringe upon another person's rights. There are some that would say the usage of marijuana is habit forming, and therefore people will do criminal actions to support their habit. However, Mark Dichter in his studies found that marijuana is non-habit forming, and the cost to sustain that habit is so low and marijuana is so available that no one would be reduced to criminality. Also, this implies that no fist would ever threaten anyone else's nose. Next, we will discuss the health benefits versus risk comparisons. For over 3,000 years, people have been using marijuana to treat ailments. So it's nothing new, and it's continued to this very day. The National Institute of Health have found that ailments can be treated such as chronic pain, glaucoma, epilepsy, and social anxiety. In medical news today, David Ralton states that marijuana has even been shown to help break addiction to nicotine or alcoholism. So people who say that marijuana is a gateway drug, when it's actually breaking addictions to other drugs, kind of sounds like a reverse gateway drug to me. Also, when it comes to risk, it should be noted that alcohol, a legal substance, is involved in many more fatal crashes than marijuana. In fact, according to the National Institute of Health, when people are high, they actually drive better than when they're sober, because they know they're high, and so they overcompensate by driving as safely as possible. Whereas the alcohol, the legal substance, people's inhibitions are reduced, they're not scared of being affected, and therefore they drive worse because they're not scared of anything. Lastly, I would like to demonstrate why the fight against cannabis is a huge financial drain and just ineffective in general. Mike Staff has research, and it states that over $16 billion are spent in the American nation alone to keep marijuana an illegalized substance. $16 billion. The average school costs $45 million to make. So what we're saying is, we're going to spend this money stopping people from smoking, but in the meantime, we're going to lose 355 schools a year. And we could have put those schools up for 355 institutions. And that comes out to about 70 schools per state per year that we're not able to build because we're trying to keep people from smoking pot. So it's costing our kids education. Okay, and the inefficiency of it, prohibition, as we all know, was an attempt to legalize alcohol from 1920 to 1935. And now what did that do? People just made moonshine. They just made their little whiskey in their homes, and it forced the average man to become a criminal when he was just enjoying what he enjoyed in 1919. But now it's 1920, and they've reduced them to criminal acts. And there was deaths, there was fights, there was engagements with the law, and none of it worked out for any good, and they just said, to heck with it, let's make it legal again. What next? Okay, yeah, I'd like to end it on this quote. It's from Joe Rogan. It says, prison is for rapists, thieves, and murderers. If you lock someone up for smoking a plant that makes them happy, then you're the fucking criminal. Now we've come full circle and learned not only about the unconstitutionality of illegalizing marijuana, but we've also seen that the health benefits are very positive and the risks are very low, if negligible. And also we've seen that it's just costing us way too much money and it's inefficient to boot. So lastly, I believe that to maintain a cause for a righteous reason is noble. To maintain a cause that hinders humanity is ignorance. We must not see laws as an ends to a mean, but a means to an end. And what is marijuana's end? That people are in less pain, that are happy, and they're free to live, free to think, free to feel. Everyone is better off with the earth-producing product to be free to the world. Thank you. And then pan back to everybody. I didn't tell you that.
Good speech.
All right.
It was very good.
They're all still awake.
And off.